Most people claim Social Security early, and I would say that most people are probably wrong. And they're probably wrong even if their financial advisor, quote unquote, financial advisor, tells them to take it early. I've been doing Social Security planning for over a decade. I did my first seminar just focused on Social Security claiming strategy, just on that one topic. I think I did my first seminar on that topic in 2011. I've gone through all the changes with Social Security, and over the years, I've done countless meetings with people, given Social Security maximization reports to complete strangers, and still give them out today. And from my experience, a majority of the time, the best solution is delaying, at least not taking it at 62, which is what many do. And one of the reasons that people claim Social Security early is because their financial advisor, their person that they've been getting financial advice from, tells them to do so. And I know it sounds hypocritical for me to say, don't listen to that. But in this show, I'm going to bring some research out that proves that I was right about a lot of this and that there is a problem with bad advice. Let me bring in my co-host, Tony Shore. Tony, you know I've been talking about Social Security for a long time. It's our most popular topic.
Yep.
And I've said in the past that a lot of financial advisors, the default, the old school financial broker, the default was take Social Security early. And the reasons for that weren't necessarily in the best interest of the client, but perhaps in the best interest of the financial advisor. Or it's just the easy solution, or it's just they don't know, so take it early. And you know that people are still taking it early. You know this.
People are still taking it early, Dan. In fact, it's funny this topic came up. You just told me about the topic today. We talked before the show. But last night, my wife was surfing on social media, as we do, Facebook, and she said, I'm on this group about finances, and somebody posted asking when they should take Social Security, if they should take it at 62. And I was surprised because I've heard a lot recently of financial advisors who are fiduciaries like yourself say you really it's a greatly reduced rate at 62. You should wait. And so that's what I understood. But on this forum, almost everybody, there were hundreds of comments, and Sarah was going through them, and almost all of them said, yes, you need to take it at 62. Take your Social Security as soon as you can.
And
I was surprised by that.
Why are they saying that? And it's a lot of misinformation. It's going to collapse, so we have to take it while you can.
People were arguing because one person said, no, everybody's situation is different. In fact, you're going to get a much smaller, they've said what we've said in the past, that, if you let it, you should wait it until your full retirement age. And some people had different things. You should wait until you're 70. You should wait. There were like 5 or 6 outliers, but the rest were all saying, and when somebody said, no, you should wait, people said, nope, you got to take it now because, in 10 years from now, Social Security might not be around. And so you're going to get more money if you take it now.
And you're going to get a reduction if that happens. And so why not get as much as you can now before the reduction comes?
That was one argument.
Right. The argument against that is, well, if everyone's going to get a reduction, wouldn't you want a reduction on a higher number?
Right. You're locking in a lower amount at 62. Right.
Now, I'm not going to spend this show talking about why you should delay Social Security. We've done shows on it. Now, our most popular one is about using your IRA money to delay Social Security, which is a problem for financial advisors to say that. And I've also done shows, and I'll put it up here if those are watching on YouTube. We've done a show on why you should take it at 62. That sometimes makes sense. But what I want to talk about today, Tony, is a study. I just read this. It came out in 2023, at the end of 2023, and it's called Biased Advice, the relationship between financial professionals' compensation and Social Security retirement benefit claiming decisions. This was in the Retirement Management Journal, Volume 12, November number 1. Now, I know you're not reading the Retirement Management Journal. Those watching this podcast are not reading this, but I read this, and I'll put the link on those that want to read it.
No, instead I'm getting a root canal. I could do one or the other, and I chose root canal. So,
But look at this title: "Biased Advice?" Question mark, and it's bringing home something I've been trying to tell people for years. This analysis uses data from 2019 on survey of consumer finances. And it tries to find out if there's a link between claiming behaviors, Social Security claiming behaviors, and the use of a financial advisor. And here's what they found. Quote, households working with a financial professional claimed benefits earlier than those without advisors, which is contrary to expectations.
yeah.
End quote. Now, contrary to expectations, my expectations are you should delay mostly. Most people would benefit from delaying. And when you run the numbers, it makes sense to delay and pull from elsewhere to do so, especially if you're married and there's two people working, right? Somebody should be delaying. And this study also says there's plenty of research and data and numbers showing the reasons why it makes sense to delay. So when they see that those using a financial professional are taking it early, red flags went up. They're like, how can that be? Right? Real quick, you delay because it's guaranteed by the government for the rest of your life. It's got a cost of living increase, which is amazing when you're trying to create longevity plans and income planning. And finally, it's not all taxed. It's got some tax advantages. Social Security is amazing, right? So delaying it often makes sense.
Well, plus, if you don't delay, you're locking in that lower amount. And so when they make adjustments later, like you said, they're making adjustments on a lower amount. You're locking in a lower amount for life, no matter what happens in the future of Social Security.
And the question becomes, well, why would a financial advisor tell me to take it early if it doesn't make sense? Now, I'll tell people to take it early. Like I said, I'll do that, but you got to do the analysis, right? So assuming the advisor does the analysis, what's going on? Here's another quote. Quote, the gap in claiming years for accountant and banker broker is approximately 2 years. The gap is 2 years for households with financial assets of 500,000 or greater, which is a staggering difference, end quote. So they're saying, depending on where you get the advice from is going to depend on what the advice is. Quality advice could vary by advisor type. And they mention accountants. Here are the 3 different advisor types that they talk about. Number 1, if they respond that they got their advice from an accountant, the assumption is they're using an hourly financial advisor. They're paying somebody
they're paid
hourly to give them advice. If their response was financial planner, then they assume it's based on AUM or a fee-based advisor, someone that charges a fee based on investment advice, like an investment advisor like me, or some sort of financial planner, someone that charges for advice. And 3, if they said banker or broker, so if I got my advice from the bank or from a stockbroker or a registered representative or a financial advisor, they'll call themselves financial advisors. The assumption is that they're commission, which they are, commissions. So if you get advice from an hourly person, you're going to delay Social Security. If you get advice from a banker or broker or a commission person, you're going to take it early. That's the mess. So that's the findings.
And the fee, even the fee based, which are really, I've seen all 3 and know a lot about this, as you know, Dan. And I like the fee based, the AUM, the financial advisor, the fiduciaries. But what I've seen with my mother-in-law and what I've seen from you talking about is that what happens is they make a fee on how much you have in your IRAs, in your accounts, in the stock market. They just make an overall fee on how much money you have. And I have seen too many people out there, Dan, like my mother-in-law's advisor and my aunt in Omaha, her advisor, that she had for years and years. They told, don't spend any money. You can't spend any money. You don't have enough money. Don't spend any money. Don't do anything. Take as much Social Security as you can, as early as you can. And they're giving that advice because the more they leave in those funds, the bigger their fee is next year. If they are pulling money to live on out of those funds instead of relying on Social Security while they let it roll up, they're pulling money out and their fee goes down. So my mother-in-law is sitting on a huge chunk of cash, and she's 88 years old now, and she's starting to have memory issues. And this guy's telling her, nope, you can't. Nope, you got to hang on to it. Don't give any to your kids or grandkids. Why is he?
Imagine if she took Social Security at 70. Imagine if your grandfather took Social Security at 70.
Yeah.
His financial situation would have been a lot different at age 100, right?
Yes, it would have. Yeah.
So there's two biases, and you just nailed one on the head. Bias number one, when you're getting advice from a financial person like me,
Yep.
Here's a bias. Delaying claiming reduces assets that could provide current or future compensation to the financial advisor. You just said it. So if I'm charging AUM fee, assets under management fee, or a 1% fee on whatever I'm managing, someone comes to me and they say, Dan, here's $500,000. This is what I have to my name. And I say, okay, I'm going to invest that for you, and I'm going to charge you 1% to do so every year. And then they say, what do we do about Social Security? I'm going to have that question answered before I even know how much money they're going to put with me. I'm going to give them the Social Security answer, because that's how you build that's how you build their income plan
based on their personal information.
Right? So you find out that first. But if I'm doing the math for myself, it makes sense for me to tell them to take Social Security early, because I get to put all 500,000 or more or whatever it is into and charge my 1%. But if I say, no, we're going to delay Social Security for 5 years, and during that time, you're going to take $50,000 a year out of your assets. So you're going to take 250,000 of your 500 out to live to get to the point where Social Security is maxed out. How does that help me as a financial advisor?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It does not. My philosophy is it helps me in the long run, because they're happier. And then once that Social Security comes on, there's so much less that I have to worry about, which brings up bias number two. Delaying claiming may reduce the complexity around financial funding retirement, possibly decreasing the need for ongoing services of financial advisor. So if you delay Social Security and you're creating that pension, you think about it. Someone that has a pension, like my father does not need a financial advisor. He doesn't need someone to manage his money, because he doesn't have any. All of his assets are either Social Security or his pension. He doesn't have assets sitting.
And those are known factors, right? So there's nothing to figure out.
They're there. You don't. What am I going to do? Now I can help him with some other things, financial planning wise and debt management and so on.
Sure.
Spending, but when it comes to true investments, he's got nothing. But what's wrong with spending down your assets to get Social Security? We did the whole show on that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? It's wrong for the financial advisor. So here's what they found. Quote, households with financial advisors paid hourly appear to be making decisions that are consistent with clients' best interest. But households with financial advisors paid on commission are making the opposite decisions. End quote.
Regarding Social Security.
I
mean, there's a lot of let's not paint a picture where people are better off going with an hourly person to help them with their finances, because they're not typically fiduciaries, and they can't help them with the big picture.
Well,
they're going to look at smaller
hourly
areas.
Advice people are fiduciaries. If you're paying a financial advisor an hourly fee, I charge an hourly fee.
Well,
but not many people like it, because they don't like the fee.
Yeah.
They don't like paying someone $300.
I thought you said they were accountants, not advisors.
Well, in this study, they said they were accountants.
Oh,
that's how they did it. So there's a little bit of problem there. If they just said hourly, I get my advice hourly.
I didn't know fiduciaries charged an hourly rate.
Oh yeah. So there's different ways I could charge. I could charge to do a project. Here, let me figure out what am I going to do about Roth conversion.
But you also do fee-based.
Right. So I do both. So I do hourly if people want that. I also will do a percentage of what I manage. But for someone that doesn't have managed assets, or someone that says, I want to do it myself, or someone that says, hey, my son is a financial investment guy, I'm giving him my money, but what do I do about Social Security? What do I do about Roth conversions? You could pay someone hourly to give you advice.
Sure. Okay.
Right?
Makes sense.
Now, What about someone like me who is fee based? There is no notable effect among clients of fee based advisors, such as financial planners, whose claiming age is not materially different than households without an advisor. So what they're saying is, our registered investment advisors, certified financial planners like me, they are giving the average is they're getting the same decision that someone without an advisor is making about Social Security. There's no noticeable difference. And what I
That
say to that
shouldn't
is,
be.
well, right, I'm thinking there's going to be those that are ignorant. I'm talking about financial, and not everyone's a financial advisor. They say they are. They just passed a fiduciary rule, which is going to take effect in September of 2024. Be ready for that. So anyone giving advice on an IRA or a 401k is required now to be a fiduciary, which they were not before. So this might start changing, right? But there are people that say they're financial advisors, and so the survey respondents, hey, my guy's a financial planner. Probably not, right? My guy's a financial planner, and so they're still telling me to take it early. Again, and then you have people like me that are telling people to delay mostly, so we kind of balance each other out. Most people without an advisor still take it early. So bottom line is people taking it early.
It's like over 80% of people who file for Social Security do it at the earliest age of 62. I've read that.
Well, they take it before their full retirement age of 67.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
That's it.
I think close to half take it at 62.
Yes.
It's still
I
staggering.
think it's over half. Yeah.
Again, it's not necessarily the wrong decision. But what I'm
Not
saying is
for
you don't really
everybody,
do
but
the math.
for the majority of them, it probably is the wrong decision. But it's based on their personal situation. That's
Emotions,
yeah.
history of their family, peer pressure, misinformation. And so they say, well, I'm going to go to the financial person and get that advice. You can't do that either. You have to make sure that the financial person is aligned with your interests. So when I see someone that says, oh, my financial guide, you know what often happens to me, Tony? Someone will come to a seminar on Social Security and they'll say to me, hey, I need help figuring it out. They'll want to meet and they'll want the Social Security maximization report. And then they'll say, why didn't my current advisor tell me this? Or when I ask my current advisor, he says, I don't know. When you figure it out, let me know because I'm 62, right? Because there's these financial people that are focused on investments only. They're not thinking about the bigger picture.
Right.
And those are the people you need to watch out for. I'm not trying to throw financial people under the bus because some advice is good, but not just because you're getting advice, you got to be careful that where it's coming from and how they're getting compensated. Are they looking out for your best interests? That's the big question. And this study shows that it's not. So research is showing that financial advisors are biased and it's based on their compensation. Follow the money. And they'll say take it at 62, even though that may not be in your best interest. Now, the issue is, especially with Social Security planning, no one knows, right? Life expectancy is a big factor on this. But if you're not having that conversation and you're not running some numbers and seeing the trade-offs and mapping it out and thinking about taxes and thinking about longevity and thinking about cost of living increases, if you're not having that, if it's just, oh, take it early because, tomorrow's promised to no one, or take it early because the government's going to collapse, or take it early because, that's what I did and it works, or take it early and we'll invest the difference. We did a show on that. Let's take it early and invest the difference. CDs are paying 5.5. Let's, again, not the best logic. But when a financial person, advisor, quote unquote, is telling you to do it, you feel confident. And I'm sorry to say that maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I've been saying this for a while. And it's kind of like the dirty secret in the financial services industry is, hey, just like with annuities. Annuities are another example because it's a pension, right? Take your money out of my control as a financial advisor and plop it into an income stream. Plop it to create a pension. Plop it into an annuity, getting you a fixed rate, like a CD. Take your money and buy a CD. How does that help the financial advisor? Does not. So what do? Oh, CDs are stupid. Fixed rate annuities, those are dumb. You're going to lose. You're not going to keep up with inflation, but I can get 6%. I can do better. Can you? Well, the market's done 8.5% in the past 10 years. Has it? Will it? So again, understand who's giving you the advice and why, and question it. And if you question your financial advisor and you get pushback, they make you feel silly, belittle you, talk over you, you got the wrong financial advisor. If someone pushes back on me why my decision is made, I give them the numbers and the facts and the reason. And again, I say the choice is ultimately theirs. But in my professional opinion, this is what I would do. And this is my recommendation. And a lot of times it's to delay Social Security, not take it early.
Right.
There it is, Tony. I just threw some financial advisors under the bus.
Well, deservedly so. Yeah.
But I got the research to prove it now, huh? I wonder if this will make the rounds on CNBC or Fox Business News. Probably not. Probably not. Jim Cramer's not going to be out there telling people. But again,
Jim Cramer.
Those are investment. Those are not financial planners.
No.
Talking heads are salesmen, or they're
securities guys. They're stocks and
right.
They're
stocks
and bonds
right?
guys.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tony, thanks for telling me the story about what your wife, and thanks for standing up and telling your wife, no, don't listen to those people.
Yeah.
We need to but you've seen it. You've heard it over and over again. I mean, we've talked about this how many times? So you knew. But think about it. The peer pressure on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, of why to take Social Security early, it's real.
Yeah. I felt sorry for the 5 or 6 people that were saying, no, everybody's situation is different.
Shh. Don't talk like that. That's too
For some, it's going to work. It's better to wait until you're 70. No, Social Security will be gone by then.
Right. We'll all be dead by then. Why bother?
Right.
So
tell that to my grandfather who lived to 101.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then again, it makes sense to take it early for some people too. So there's no right answer. Yeah. There's no blank.
He took it at his full retirement age. He should have waited until 70, but for him that was 65, I think.
Yeah, and back then,
yeah,
that was a big deal to wait that long. So.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks for a good show, Tony. Sorry that I had to go through another Social Security discussion, but they're popular and they make sense, and they're
well, you gotta get it out there. The truth can hurt.
The truth prevails. We'll see everyone next week.
All matters discussed in today's show are for informational purposes only.
This show is not investment advice.
Dan Riddle nor Dolphin Financial Group are affiliated or endorsed by any government agency.
Investment advisory services are offered through Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc., a registered investment advisor in the state of Florida.
Insurance products and services are offered through Dolphin Insurance, Inc.
Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc. and Dolphin Insurance, Inc. are affiliated companies doing businesses as Dolphin Financial Group.
You should talk to someone at Dolphin Financial Group before implementing any of these strategies or ideas.